Well, so I've been saying this for a long time, many years. I've been on Fox many times over the years. I've been calling this an invasion for a long time. You know, we are at a point right now where MIT did a study in 2016 and said there were 25 to 30 million people here illegally, which matched up with the numbers I had. I've said this on, I think, the show before. And that was back in 2016. There's not 11 million people that always you hear. It was 25 to 30 million 7 years ago. So we're up, at least with the MIT study, we're up to 35 million now or more. That's, remember, apprehended. When I go around on my tour, what I hear from law enforcement all the time, maybe we catch 1 out of 2 or 3. So you can double or triple that. In addition to that, in Joe Biden's first year, we had 2 million that we apprehended the first year, 2 million this year.
This is not a joke.
That we'll apprehend, plus the gotaways. We're approaching 10 to 15% of the total population in the United States of America will be here illegally. We're approaching 10 to 15% of the total population in the United States of America will be here illegally. By the time Joe Biden's first term is over, you have to understand this has been an invasion for a long time. This is a plan by the left. They want to bring people in, eventually, one day, make sure they all have citizenship so they can vote. People who are coming here illegally is a plan. This is not an accident. The fact that they're angry about it is just we're shining a light on it.
Absolutely.
And I hope that what we can do is create another case. We'll be back in the legislative session in January, that we can get to the Supreme Court to determine this one more time. And maybe this court will recognize that we do have a right to protect our citizens on the border, right on the river.
Let me clarify on that.
To be, and we need to be able to protect our people.
Let me clarify on that fine point, because you mentioned saying that it's invasion, and we all acknowledge and say that it is. But is there a formal declaration Texas can or should make? Does that happen from the governor? Does that happen from the legislature? How does that Supreme Court showdown happen if Texas were to formally say we're being invaded?
Look, the governor will make that decision, but the answer for the legislature, and I'm the president of the Senate, the answer for the legislature is to craft a bill similar, I don't want to say similar to Arizona, but to make the case that we have this legal right to stand there and protect our border. Look, this is not, you know, we can send the buses to get attention and we can make comments, but let's look at what we're dealing with. We're dealing with fentanyl coming over the border in such amounts that it's the #1 killer of young people of 45. That's not a laughing matter or a joking matter. That's death. Families are experiencing young people dying because they got the wrong pill that was sent over the border. We have criminals crossing the border, MS-13 gang members crossing the border, terrorists crossing the border, and the only 3 people on the planet that think it's secure are the president, the vice president, and the secretary of Homeland Security, and the mouthpiece for all of them that shows up, you know, in the White House press briefings every day, who doesn't ever tell the American people the truth. The only side of the border that's secure is the other side, by the way. Right. Understand this, that no one crosses that border unless they pay their money to the cartels. The cartels have total control of the border. They've secured their side. We need to secure our side. And we want legislation to be able to go up to the Supreme Court to declare that once and for all. So there's no ambiguity whatsoever.
So that
this has to end.
This is not a joke.